Now, as much shit as I gave the Diplomats for being on this list,
Oh my god,
they're better than 19. They're better than who's on number 19.
you know,
Go
I
ahead,
don't.
go ahead, 12.
I don't necessarily know that they're better than 19, but I will be, and I've said this on your podcast, and I'll say it on this podcast again. It's worth repeating. I I understand why and how people got into the Diplomats. I was never one of them. Like
No.
I never got into their music. I know a few of their songs, and I was back when they did the verses, when verses was a thing during the COVID thing. I was actually contemplating not even watching the verses because I ain't really rocking their music like that. But
No,
I was
I
like,
did. But
okay, and so I was like, well, you know what? I was like, I really like the locks. I was like, so let me tap in. So when I tuned in,
happens this asshole.
and when I tuned in, all I saw was Jada just bodying their whole damn squad by himself.
But that was a logistical thing too, because the Diplomat, Cameron, and them they got some dope songs.
I'll take your word for it.
G Unit does not.
Well, yeah, I did. I will say this much: I did purchase G Unit's first album, so I did spend money on them. But
How'd it go for you?
it was okay. It was okay. I mean, to be honest, I bought, and I didn't even comment when you said it. I bought Bone Thugs' first two albums.
You bought Creeping on Come Up?
Yeah, bought it. And the thing is, like,
you look like you're from East 99.
The funny part about it is, man, I still can't, to this day, I can't tell you what the hell they said because I don't know.
It says skibbity.
Yeah, but the skibbity shit, that shit got old real quick. I mean, like, you can listen a couple times and, like, after about the fifth or sixth listen, dog, you want to be able to take something. I mean, like, it has no replay value for me. And
somehow the skibbity made it to this list, but the iggity did not.
I mean, the iggity, maybe the people that were judging. I mean, remember, we're talking about foundational pioneers. We're talking about evolutionary trailblazers and contemporary disruptors. So maybe
somehow the iggity had 5 years of people copying their style and groups based off their style, and the skibbity people said, I'll try it on a song with them on it.
So you're saying that dissect style got stolen by Bone Thugs and Harmony? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying they definitely got stolen by the Lords of the Underground and the Fushnikens and about 5 other people.
Okay, point taken. So at 19, yeah, G Unit. If I make a list, I could probably find a place for G Unit. It won't be at 19.
I couldn't. The most famous thing that G Unit has made was the way they say G Unit.
And I don't. They wouldn't be in my top 50. Like I said, I could find a place for them on a list, but not my top 50.
Oh yeah, they would definitely be on my top 50 list of groups named G Unit.
Next up at 18, 3-6 Mafia, the Tear the Club Up Thugs, rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. I will say this. I understand the appeal. I wasn't a big fan, but I like, their music is something that you kind of get you crunk, whatever, in the club. They definitely made club music.
Did you just say get you crunk in the club?
Crunk in the club. See, you got to come back down south.
No. Because of you saying that, I will not. I shan't.
Yeah, you wanted to get crunk in the club.
You used that in a sentence, like for real, like it just came out.
Because there was a time in my life before I was, the age that I am, where I was getting crunk in the club. So yeah, 3-6, I could definitely put him in a top 50 list. I think
not.
I think this is a bit too high.
They're not on the list. 17's not on the list.
17, the boys from Cypress Hill. As much as I love the song "How I Just Could Kill a Man," never really got into their music.
Hand on the Pump is the shit.
Yeah, Hand Up Pump was cool. I never got into their music, and they made dope music. I just didn't really. I just didn't get into it.
Well, Kyle is the nice one. He wants to make sure that you guys listen. Will come back and listen.
No, and please, if it's trash, I'll tell you it's trash.
And please do. Just blame me. Cypress Hill is garbage except for like 4 songs. Stone is the Way to Walk is dope. Hand on the Pump is dope. You know, I ain't going out like that.
Yeah, that's another joke.
We're not doing that.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, their music just didn't move me, and it didn't get to me like that. But I recognize them and understand how and why they made this list.
I would argue that groups, soloists, whoever, you do not have to be a fan of their music to appreciate their contributions.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
However, something should make you feel a way. Something about them should be good enough or fit your whatever it is that you like about whatever genre or category you're in, for them to be considered greatest of all time.
Right.
Like, it's like, no, they're good, but yeah, they're not the greatest of all time.
Right.
Now you can, like I said, I'm not a huge UGK fan, but there's enough songs from them that I like, and I can see how other people like them to say, of course, they're supposed to be on this list. I can't do that for Cypress Hill, 3-6 Mafia. I can't do it for none of them. Bone Thugs and Harmony, maybe, but I can't even do that for Sugar Hill Gang.
Nah,
because most people, even mid-level hip hop heads, can't name you 5 Sugar Hill Gang songs.
Yeah, I'm raising my hand. I can't name. You see my hand up, right? I'm not. I probably can name you 3.
All right,
and I'm not really sure about the 3.
Give it a shot. Let's see.
Okay. Of course, the obvious. And then the joint with the.
Oh no. All right, that's fair. That's what I'm saying. People that really.
So that's 2. So okay.
You didn't name a song. You didn't name a song. You said do. You didn't name. You didn't even name the first one. You said the obvious. You named none. But that is my point. That even hip hop fans could. Now me is because it's me. Rappers Delight, 8th Wonder, Apache.
Oh, Apache. That's the joint I'm talking about.
Showdown, Lala Song, The Love Ring You. So I mean, but most people can't do that.
No. So I got 2 in a possible.
8th Wonder is 8th Wonder is what gave you Woo Ha. I got you all in check. Most people don't know that. People think that Busta Rhymes was the first person to ever say that.
Well, I knew that he wasn't, but I don't necessarily know that was their song. If that makes sense.
He just said that. He just said.
No, I know. He did that part, those words. But I'm saying like the 8th Wonder. I don't like you said 8th Wonder.
Yeah, that's song.
I don't. I know the song, but I don't know the song. And I never really equated it to them.
I had the album.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I had the album. Also, just since we're also playing, kids listening at home. Dr. Dre and Snoop weren't the first to say chill until the next episode and on a hip hop song. FYI.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Let it be known. So yeah, I feel you. I'm not putting, honestly, even going back to that particular pick that you talked about, Sugar Hill Gang. I'm probably not putting Sugar Hill Gang on a list. If I'm writing my list, I'll say, hey, major shout out to a contributor like Sugar Hill Gang, but they're probably not making my list because
no. But if you use this criteria, I understand why they're there.
I guess they would be the foundational pioneers.
Well, yes.
Speaking of number 16, I guess would fall under that category. The Beastie Boys. License to Ill, I think is an incredible album. There will be an album review for Hip Hop Week coming up on that one.
Love that album.
Same here. I never purchased any more Beastie Boys albums after this one. I don't know. It probably, I don't necessarily know if they would fall at 16 on my list. I understand why they're on 16 on this list. And I got no problem with it.
Excellent placement. 16 is strong for them. 16 is strong for them, and unless you're looking at the rest of the list. Because if you're looking at the rest of the list, they're better than 15 and 14 and 12. And I mean, so if you're looking at this, they're far too low. But go ahead.
15, I love Naughty by Nature.
You do not love. You love everybody. There's no one loves.
I love.
Vin Rock doesn't love Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature, when they came out, man, I love them dudes. I will say this much: I think their placement is way too high. They'd probably be the back half of the 20s, maybe into the 30s for me.
They might not even be on my list.
Okay, well that's fair. But yeah, they're not top 15 rap groups. And keep in mind, folks, we're saying, at least the good folks at Billboard said all time. So we're talking from the conception of hip hop until now. And then at 14,
according to this list, they are light years ahead of Boogie Down Productions and EPMD. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, they gave us Hip Hop Parade. EPMD ain't give us no Hip Hop Parade.
No, thank God.
Can you picture Eric and Parrish out there, Hip Hop Parade? Come on, man. At 14, the Fugees.
One good album. How? One good album.
One great album.
One good album.
You don't think Score is a great album?
Great? No.
Okay.
When it came out, you could argue that it was great. It don't have legs. When was the last time you was like, let me throw in the score and listen to it front to back?
Probably about 4 months ago. I was in the car, I was riding, I was like, she didn't put it on. And I jammed it from front to back.
Well,
when's the last time you played?
In my defense for making that statement and for you saying a few months ago, you are them boys though. So so them boys should listen to it front to back. Me,
not them boys.
You were 100% the boys. For me, the last time I've listened to this album front to back, it had to be sometime in the year or the year after it came out.
Oh shit!
I only listen to Zealots and really only listen to Zealots and the joint with Rod Digger. I don't listen Cowboys.
Yep.
I don't really listen. I don't because the album is no. Okay. I love Zealots and Cowboys.
Okay, that's fair. Coming in at 13.
Coming in.
Mobb Deep. I think this is perfect placement. They're just outside of the top 10. If I had a list, they're definitely in my top 15. Shout out to rest in peace to Prodigy, man. I love this group. This is a group that I love. I'll say that again. And I purchased everybody. I don't love everybody. I will say this. I purchased their first. Well, I didn't get the first album, Juvenile Hell, but albums 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, I was rolling. And you could make a case that they could be higher. And then at number 12.
Come on, man. What are they doing?
Come on, man. Grandmaster.
What are they doing? Listen, this ruins the integrity of the list even more. Now, listen, If they're on the list, fine.
Right.
They're not 12. They're not 12 if EPMD is not ahead of them. They're not 12 if BDP is not ahead of them.
It's gonna
We're
keep
not
coming
doing
back to
that.
EPMD and
Hey man,
Boogie
I'm
Down.
just,
I'm feeling you. Yeah, I if I made a list, damn, I don't want to be disrespectful because I respect
it's
my
not
elders.
disrespectful. It's just what it is.
Like I remember I got the song. Yeah,
Name 5 songs. I mean, I can, but I know most people
can't name 5 songs. No, and I don't even know the names of the album or albums that they made. I don't.
You got the message.
Yeah, that's it.
You got the
That's all I
message.
know.
You got. Well,
And I'm a
no,
hip
it's
hop
not.
head.
It is not all you know.
Okay.
You
What else I
know.
know?
You know, white lies don't do it.
Oh yeah, white lies.
And you should know it's nasty. You might not know it's nasty. It's nasty. Use the Genius of Love beat. And you know of New York, big city of dreams.
Oh, that was them.
That was them.
Oh shit.
Magic Carpet Ride, Super Rapping, Freedom, and my shit Gold. But most people can't do that. No, and if you can't do that, you're not 12. Get out of here,
12. Yeah, then I would struggle to find a place for them. I would, out of respect for the elders but again, they are a foundational pioneer, I guess. So that's why they made this list.
I will say this: they deserve to be on the list more than
coming in at number 11. Oh my gosh!
Don't say the
Atlanta's own Migos.
Yeah, not the.
You know what I think about this group and this list? I think
you think that they're contemporary disruptors.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. This is the first contemporary disruptor outside of JT and Young Miami to make this list, and that's why they're here.
That's why they're 11. You know, I'm gonna tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the incredible, hard-edged, hard-nosed hip-hop journalists at the Billboard, I know they just wish, and I'm surprised that even though that this is the top 50 greatest rap groups of all time, I am personally surprised that Kendrick Lamar is not on this list.
Hey man, stop. Come on, man.
But since he's not on this list,
come on, man,
then these gentlemen have to be on there.
Yeah, I think here's your contemporary disruptor. There's no reason for them to be at 11. I like some of their songs.
Look at you.
Hotel Lobby's my joint. Hotel Lobby's my joint. Man, come on, man. Hotel Lobby.
I thought after that was the Hotel Lobby.
No, not that one. Rest in peace, Takeoff. But yeah, it's and being from Atlanta,
Jesus,
I understand, but there's no way in the Marvel universe that I can put them at 11. So nah, they're not going at 11.
The good news, everyone that's listening, and thank you for getting this far into this song. I mean, into this list.
And we gotta go get no.
I know I'm about to go to JJ.
No. What do you need?
I said I'm about to go to JJ.
I would like for you to understand.
In a little bit.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Wait till I get off here. Go ask your mom.
Of this
what she saying?
top 50
go ask your mom.
Rap groups of all time list, and the number 10 is ridiculous. But I mean, I understand why.
How dare you?
I understand why they're there, but
now you talk about groups I love.
You love everyone,
but I absolutely adore this group. This is one of my favorite groups ever.
It's just that I liked it better when they were a band.
Okay, that's fair.
It's the Roots at number 10, ladies and gentlemen.
The legendary Roots Crew, get it right.
It's only because that's what they
All the
prefer
way-
to be called.
All the way live from 215.
It's the Roots are okay. They're not top 10 of all time.
You know,
they're in the. I'll give them in the top 15.
Okay. And folks, this is where I really wish, and for the shout out again for those of you watching on YouTube, this is where I really wish his face was on here because I really want to see his. I want to see his face as he reads these things. But go ahead. I'm listening. I'm rolling.
I mean, listen.
Mm-hmm.
When they came out, loved the Roots. I was almost them boys. I loved them. And
you were never them boys.
And then Malik B left.
Yeah.
And when he left, a little bit of the Roots, I was like, man, this is not as fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems once they didn't have Malik B, they went from hip hop group to rap group to contemporary group or alternative group or pop group. They shifted. When they came out, no, that's a hip hop group and they got live instruments. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into, they went from Five Guys to McDonald's.
Oh my God, this guy.
And so I was like, I don't like McDonald's. So, and they started talking about stuff that was like, wait a minute, what are you even saying? What is this song about? They started making concept albums and concept songs, which are fine.
Right.
But I don't want to listen to it.
Okay,
so, but I respect what they do. For me, they would be in the 15 to 20 or 10 to 15 range, not top 10.
Okay.
Now,
no argument there.
Depending on your criteria, and using this group, this fine, super thorough hip hop journalists at Billboard magazine, using their criteria,
right.
Number 9 is ridiculous.
Right.
De La Soul should not be at number 9. They are easily a top 5 group.
Foundational pioneer, evolutionary.
If they're not top 5, they could be number 2. And this is what I am saying.
Okay.
EPMD is really number 2. But if you look at their criteria, they're the only group probably on this list with at least 5 dope albums. And they made music later, more recent than anyone, I believe, in the top 10.
That would be facts.
So if you're going to reward pioneers, check. Trailblazers, check. Disruptors, check. Plus longevity, check. Plus dopeness. And this is one other thing that we did not mention that they wrote the fine journalists and editors at Billboard. They wrote in their criteria lyrics, storytelling. 30 of these groups do not have any dope storytelling.
I'm willing to bet it's more than that.
Right. So what are we talking about? De La Soul is the most underrated hip-hop group in hip-hop history because no one, except for people like me, puts them in top 3 position where they're the only group that people that listen to them and know about them, you can survey 10 of them and you'll get 5 different, that's my favorite album. Most people, most groups What's your favorite? Oh, it's one of these two. It's usually just one. But some is, oh, it's one of these two. Everyone will say it. But like, oh, nah. 3 feet high. No, De La Soul is dead. No. Stakes is high. No. The fucking Bionics. Nah, I like Balloon Mice. So anyway.
Right.
They shouldn't be in. They should be in 9. That's crazy. And number 8, I could completely understand why they wouldn't be on the list at all, but they damn sure shouldn't be anywhere above 30. And then number 8 is Salt and Pepper. Now, if they would have stayed the course after their first album, there's no way they wouldn't have. They would have been top something. But 1, 8 is crazy. 2, they're not that dope. They were dope, but they're not that dope. It's just a fact of life. I'm sorry.
Question.
Wait a minute. Who can make the average dancer? Me?
No, I was going to ask you. Did you get a chance to see Salt and Pepper perform on stage with Spinderella at this year's Essence Festival, which appeared on Hulu TV on, when was that, Sunday night?
No, and if she really performed with them, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, she performed with them.
That's a shame.
Shared the stage. Yeah, it was. They did they had a segment where they did a tribute to honoring 50 years of women in hip hop.
Okay.
So let me let you know who else performed. First, it was hosted by Angie Martinez. Spinderella was DJing.
Okay, so that makes sense because she was there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
let's see. Mia X performed.
Wait a minute. The Biggest Mama?
Yeah, Mama Mia, and she looked good too. She looked good.
Look at you. Look at you. You're married. Stop it.
In her hometown. The pit bull in a skirt.
Oh, Yorkie Terrier face.
Yeah, Eve, she performed. Looking good these days. I think she's had some work done, but she's looking good nonetheless.
It didn't work.
Who else? Remy Ma. She performed.
Don't like her.
And the baddest, or what used to be the baddest chick.
Oh yeah, and that show looked like Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, man, and you know what's bad, man? And me and Therese were watching it. What didn't help was the dress she had on. And I'll send you a picture of it. Like, it was bad. Like, the dress was too short, and because her body has gotten bigger in certain places.
The dress was Todd Shaw?
The dress was definitely Todd Shaw. And she was pulling on the dress. It was just bad. And
who's bad?
Yeah, it was bad. And
that's
then
how the song goes.
And then Salt and Pepper and Spin came on, and so that was
what they do. Fucking What a Man.
They did What a Man. They did the hits. They did Push It. They did What a Man. Spin really got on.
They did all the terrible songs.
Spin actually came from behind the DJ booth and did her verse. They did a little dance together, and it was cool to see them on stage. And Angie actually acknowledged the fact that that they were performing together.
For the first time since the last time they shitted on her, and I'm pretty sure they shitted on her right after that too. Anyway.
So yeah, I had to sidebar that, man. It was good to see them together.
No, whatever. Number 7. If you're gonna consider this a group, as I do, 7. You know what? I guess 7 is a nice place for them. 7 is a nice place for them. I could see me arguing 5, but 7 is a nice place for Eric B and Rakim. Because as dope as Eric B and Rakim are, boy.
For those of you at home, I just texted him a picture.
Listen, I hope.
Oh God!
I hope that she never catches Sonic the Hedgehog, because She will take all of his rings.
Oh my gosh.
That
I was gonna wait. I was gonna tell him that I sent the picture. I'm like, no, maybe not. I'm not gonna tell him. I just sent it. And they caught him in midstream.
That is wonderful. I'm
sorry, folks. That was not professional of me, but I had to get that joke in.
Sorry, as dope as Eric B. and Rakim.
There we go. Give me back on.
They only had 2.5 dope shits.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that the first one was so dope. He's been eating off of it his entire career. And this is another whole sidebar on Rakim. He's almost the Lauryn Hill of rap. He's respected. Everyone loves him. He's the guy. He's the greatest lyricist in hip hop history. I'm saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still living off that one album. Even though he made another dope album and a half a dope album. He doesn't care about none of that. He's living off this one album. Like Lauryn Hill's living off of her one album. When she go perform, at
least he made a hip hop album.
I said it's the hip hop version of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you off here about how these people have been going at me about this damn R&B album. But go ahead.
Because you said what I've been saying for years. You just put it on Twitter.
Yes.
Anyway, number 6. See, number 6 is Public Enemy. And on one hand, they deserve to be here. On the other hand, they do not at all. On one hand, because of trailblazing and pioneer. Yeah. But their reign on the top.
But they did have a reign.
Top 10, definitely. I'll put them in the top 10.
They're in my top.
But they're not 6. Just like Eric B. and Rakim, I get it. So 7, 8 makes sense. But Public Enemy is not 6. They're top 10 because after the first 2 albums, it was like, oh, okay, they had a couple of cool songs. And they try to come back and people are like,
I love
right. Meanwhile, groups like De La Soul keep reinventing themselves and putting out dope music that everyone likes. EPMD, break up, come back with more dope shit. They got 4 and a P dope albums. Public Enemy, But anyway, top 10 though. Number 5 should have been number 1 to me.
Facts.
How?
I don't understand.
How is the literal definition of your criteria?
Number 5.
Run DMC is number 5. If you don't want to say they're the greatest group of all time, then just say they're not the greatest group of all time and don't even put them on the list. Because putting them in number 5 is just...
Yeah. I know, I agree with you. I mean, like, if you don't have Run DMC at number 1, I just assume that you didn't see or hear them.
Yeah, or never heard of them.
Exactly.
Listen, and not to bring this gentleman into a group discussion, but it goes without saying that Run DMC and LL Cool J are the logos of hip hop. They're the logos. Anyone's doing a B-boy stance or got on the tracksuit or Godfather hats when they mimic hip hop, that's Run DMC. Anytime someone has a big gold rope on and a red Kango hat when they try to mimic hip hop, that's LL Cool J. This is what it is. Without that, you don't have this list.
Agreed.
They were the original disruptors.
Original.
So having them at it's just crazy talk. And I know how much people love number 4.
You know how much I love number 4.
Spoiler alert, guess who really loves number 4 because they love everybody.
Hey, you already know. Let's go.
But
come on, man.
They only have 3 albums, number 1. And
this guy,
one of the 3 people really don't listen to.
This guy.
And the second of the 3, people only listen to select songs of. Everyone loves Midnight Marauders.
Love it. Tribe
Called Quest is number 4. Kyle, what are your thoughts on Tribe Called Quest at number 4? I would say that they don't deserve to be number 4, but I understand why they're number 4 because of bias, and people love them.
I think they deserve to be number 4. I think you can make a case that they could be higher. You can definitely make a case that they could be lower. I don't know that anybody with a brain is going to create a top 10 and a Tribe Called Quest not be in the top 10. So they're definitely worthy, I think, at the very least in the top 10. I'm extremely biased when it comes to Tribe Called Quest. Yeah. And I'll admit my biases, until the cows come home. But I didn't have a problem with him being 4, but I will, when we finish the list, I'll tell you what the issue I had with the top 5.
I'll tell you really quick my issue with Tribe Called Quest at 4. Mm-hmm. They didn't disrupt. They didn't pioneer. They might have blazed a couple of trails. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the longevity. And the catalog, as front heavy as it isn't. People look at Tribe Called Quest with rose-colored glasses because they're all likable.
Very much.
until you watch the movie, they're all likable.
Hey, if that movie was made in 2023, boy, they got Q-Tip ass out of here, boy.
Yeah, they make easy. The music is definitely easy to listen to. Mm-hmm. It's very dope. Especially the first 2. Well, the second and third album, their final album, and but they didn't. They benefited from De La. Mm. Also, by the way, speaking of which, we got Naughty by Nature on here. We got Hyro. Mm-hmm. And no JBs.
Yeah, no JBs. No Jungle Brothers. JBs. No Digital Underground, no Jungle Brothers.
No Digital Underground, no JBs. No Dre and Scoob effects.
Nah,
we got G Unit and Diplomat. No Def Squad.
No Def Squad. No Ill Out Scratch for You.
Ill Out Scratch is infinitely better than at least 7 of these groups.
Hey, and we got Yin Yang Twins, but we didn't get Ghetto Mafia. Nino and Wicked. This man loves Ghetto Mafia. I think I saw one of those dudes at the grocery store the other day. I was about to say something. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna say that. Because I don't know your music. But he does.
Came up, came down, stayed down, riding long, stayed real, caught the clown, took his crown with steel. Made moves, broke free, new deal, Big D, 500, SEL, DC, ATL. Real G's, feel good, smoke good, drink good, more cash, new car, new crib, same hood. Anyway.
Decatur's own.
Billows, not Pillows.
Yeah, Billows.
Anyway, for
Tribe.
I just don't. I mean, I get it. No. I understand why they're there, but I want people in another 5 to 10 years, they will come around and understand what I'm saying and agree with me, just like it took 20 years damn near, for people to come around for what is coming up later. Number 3. N-words with attitudes.
That's right. Niggas.
Whoa. Should not be number 3. No way in hell number 3. Now, they are trailblazers. They are disruptors.
You damn
and
right.
In some ways, they are pioneers.
In all aspects of it, I think they're pioneers.
But they did not have the longevity. They don't have the discography. They don't have the other shit. They had one good album and half. So you can't be the 3rd greatest group of all time with actually, you can't be the 3rd greatest hip hop group of all time, rap group of all time, with one album as a complete group. Because the second album, somebody left. Here's what they think about it. Here's what they think about it. Here's what they think about it. So just know. I mean, top 10, sure.
They're definitely my top 5.
See, I can't put them in top 5. I can't put.
That's not. Okay, but that's understandable. If you got them in the top 10, I'm not arguing with that.
With Run DMC, EPMD, De La Soul, and even if you put Tribe in the top 5, then any of those other that they gotta be 6. So, but anyway, NWA is not number 3. Now, number 2, I believe 2 things. One, I believe that they're from the slums of Shaolin.
This is being confirmed.
And 2, though I have never attempted or tried, I believe that they're nothing to fuck with.
That has been proven as well.
Okay, so it's ill and out scratch. And number 2,
get your ass out of here.
They told me where my homies were, and ironically, they were creeping through the hood.
That is not number 2. Number 2 is the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh shit! Nah, I see the picture now. You're right.
Witty, unpredictable, talent, and natural game.
Or what else?
Wu.
You really don't know?
No. What else is it?
We usually take all niggas' garments.
Oh, I forgot about that. Damn, you went way back. Yeah, man. Wu at 2. Woo. I like this at 2. I don't necessarily know if they'd be at 2 for me. I will not argue anybody putting them at 2.
I will.
Some could make a case that they should be higher at 1. I'm not making that case, but I understand it. But no, that's where does Wu fit for you if you're making a list? I'm assuming they're in your top 10.
They're definitely in the top 10. They're somewhere around, based on the criteria, because if we're not factoring in individual shit,
right,
they're about 7 or 8.
Exactly. And you know, even going back to what you said about NWA, I think that's where they conflated it, because yeah, they are pioneers, they are disruptors, they are trailblazers, but I also think they conflated NWA's history, and their history would include Cube, and then Dre, and then them branching off, and Dre doing his thing and finding and discovering Snoop and 50 and Eminem and all of these people like that. And I think that's how a lot of
NWA.
Exactly. That's NWA's branches. NWA's the tree, and those are the branches off of the NWA tree. And there's a lot of MCs, there's a lot of producers that were influenced by that tree. I don't think anybody, regardless of how you feel about NWA, Cube, Dre, or whomever, can deny their impact on that. But that's not the criteria by which they said that this list was for. And I think that's where they conflate it. And that's where a lot of people are going to have NWA probably higher. And, I saw some people pushing back on social media saying that NWA should have been at 1.
See, look, if you look at them as a group,
Mm-hmm.
no. just the answer is no. But I will let you finish off this.
You sure you don't want to finish and tell the people who don't want it?
As far as I'm concerned, the list is done.
Well, this man, my friend over here, he's not a fan of the group at number 1. He does recognize their significance and the impact, but he's not a fan.
And if I'm doing my list, they are definitely top 10.
And
based on this criteria. If I'm doing my own personal list,
you're not putting them on the list.
They're not on the list.
Yeah, because you don't like them.
Or they're like 48, you know.
This guy. Number 1 is OutKast. Here's what I will say, and this was my immediate thought. Like E said before, I'm a big fan, and I will be honest. I am extremely biased when it comes to 2 groups that made this list, that made this top 5. Extremely biased when it comes to Tribe, extremely biased when it comes to OutKast. And I've touched on it and talked about it in different episodes of my podcast and even some that we've done together. I think OutKast is one of the most incredible groups, obviously to rep the city that I live in, Atlanta, GA. And I think highly of them as MCs and their discography. That being said, I don't think that OutKast is number 1 or should be number 1, the number 1 hip hop group of all time. Are they foundational pioneers? Are they trailblazers? Are they disruptors? You can make a case that they are. I just don't think that OutKast is 1. I could make a case that OutKast should be in the top 10. You can make a case OutKast should be in the top 7. I don't know. But I will say this much. OutKast definitely deserves to be on this list.
Yes, of course.
They're definitely going to be on any list that I make, but OutKast isn't number 1. Again, Run DMC, I think, is number 1. I think the thing that I took from this list was, if you look at it in its totality and you really focus in on the top 10, if you have a strong top 10 and if you have an even stronger top 5, you should be able to move them around and make a case for each of them being number 1. So by that definition, can you make a case for Wu being number 1? Can you make a case for NWA being number 1? Can you make a case for Tribe being number 1? Yeah, make a case for Tribe being make a case for Tribe being number 1. Make a case for Run DMC being number 1. P.E. You know, Eric B. and Rakim. Okay, I can do that, but if we're being realistic, I just don't. OutKast, as much as and be clear, there's nobody listening or watching this episode that loves OutKast more than me. OutKast shouldn't be number 1. I can make a case that OutKast probably should be around 7 or 8. They shouldn't be. Fair. They shouldn't be at 1. And I think this is where the word contemporary falls in, because now what you're telling me, Billboard, is we need eyes on this link that we're going to post. We need people. I don't know if people still buy magazines or not, but we need people buying magazines. We need to direct traffic to our website. How can we do that? We can do that by being controversial. And I think picking OutKast at number 1 is controversial. I sent this list to a couple people, and I just say, hey, tell me what you think. And everybody, to a man and woman, thought that OutKast should be. They didn't. Well, let me back up. They didn't have a problem with OutKast being at 1. And I said, well, I said, my question isn't about do you have a problem with them being number 1? Are they number 1? Not whether or not you think that they should or shouldn't be. Do you think, bottom line, that they're the best hip hop group ever?
Ever.
And nobody said yes. and that wrapped my case right there. I'm like, if I go out and I search, and here's the thing, I live in Atlanta. If I go and ask 10 people at a bar tonight, who's the greatest hip hop group of all time, 2 people might say OutKast. That's it, if that. And there's no knock. Everybody can't be the greatest of all time.
It's all this is what people people that argue and debate and try to tell you how great this particular entity is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when mainstream media and other people, other outlets say, oh, what, really? Okay. Hey, everybody, look. And they're like, nah, but not really. We were just saying that because we didn't, he owes, so he like fucking the Boogie Boys. So I gotta tell him. Like, but for real. Same thing when they're like, well, who finally dropping a solo album? Now people are like, do we really want that? I don't think we really need that. Please don't. It's probably gonna suck. But 5 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, you would have told me that he's the greatest rapper of all time. Why wouldn't you want a solo album from the greatest rapper of all time? So finally, people, thank you for validating the things that I've been saying for years. And let the record show, I never once said that these people were bad at their job. I didn't say anything about being whack. All I said was, one, not for me. And two, it is not what you're trying to make it out to be. Yeah. And when you look at the facts and you listen to the tracks, bars, there's superior entities out there.
Yeah, I mean, again, I agree with you. I think as much as I love OutKast, now I can't, and their discography I think is a great discography. Shout out to my boy Matt. Matt was like, he didn't have an issue with them being at number one, and he started talking about their discography, and me and Matt, we talked about it on this podcast before. But no, I mean, if you go ask Eric B and Rakim, maybe not in front of a microphone, but they'll probably tell you that they think that they should be. They might not say, well, Rakim might not say that we are number one, but he'll say
because they're gonna say, anyone that really listens, like, Run DMC, why are you asking me this question?
Right, exactly.
Anyone who knows is what I
look. Public Enemy is gonna say that. BDP is gonna say that.
Go back. We did a top 50 hip hop groups list over a decade ago on the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
And I believe you can go back and listen to it on.
I still got the Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. I still got the Excel spreadsheet.
And it was still Run DMC. That was it. That was the list.
Yeah, like 1 through 10 was everybody's 1 through 10 was. Everybody's 2 through 10 was a little different, but 1 was the same all across the board. Tribe and Tribe fans will make a case that they're one. Definitely Run DMC, PE, but I think everybody knows it's Run DMC. Like, so when you put Run DMC at 5 and you put OutKast at 1, you're trying to get clicks, because I don't think that they are the same or in the same linear space, if you will. And again, that takes nothing away from OutKast, because again, you're talking to OutKast's biggest fan. But if their biggest fan can look at it objectively and say, no, they're not the greatest rap group of all time, then I think you got something. I don't work for Billboard. I don't know who works over at Billboard. Maybe we should make a phone call to our good friends over at Billboard. But I think Eclectik and I saw what y'all were doing. And like I said, when I sent him the link, well, actually before, when I opened up the link, number 1 popped up, and I'm like, no. And for me to say OutKast isn't number 1, I mean, that's saying a lot, because again, I'm a huge fan, but I can be objective. A lot of fans can't be objective. And it goes back to what we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. If you're talking about criteria, and they laid out the criteria for us to judge, or at least for us to give some type of parameter for what this is, based on the criteria that was given, OutKast is not the number 1 hip-hop group of all time. And keep in mind, we're talking about hip-hop groups of all time. This is their list. And they're saying that OutKast is number one. But if you go based on the criteria that they gave, no, it's Run DMC. I mean, Run DMC actually defines the criteria that they laid forth. And again, I don't have a problem with OutKast. I love OutKast, but no, I'm not putting I'm not putting OutKast at one. I'm sorry. And I don't think anybody who knows a little something would have them at one. Okay, I just got your link. Yeah, I remember this. I remember we put this together.
Who got snubbed? Who's not on the list that should be on the list?
You mentioned earlier Digital Underground. I'm sure that there are probably more than a few that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head that didn't make the list that should have been. But Digital Underground definitely should have been on this list.
If you're gonna have the Fugees on there, why not Diggable Planets?
Ooh.
Jungle Brothers, Das
I don't
Effects.
know if Jungle Brothers and Das Effects are as good as City Girls.
Clearly.
I don't know.
How about I mean, you put maybe not Capone and Noriega, but Helter Skelter, Camp Low,
Agreed.
Lost Boys.
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna put Crisscross on there, the Lost Boys can't be on there. If you're gonna put Two Live Crew on there, Black Moon can't be on there.
I mean, come on, man. We're talking Two Live here. And what he did was he sent me a list that we compiled back. When was this? Let me go back to the top. When did we do this? This was easily 10 years ago.
Dumb long ago.
Man. So I'll give you the top 20 that we came up with. Hang on a second, let me scroll back.
And so while he's doing that, what happened was we surveyed a lot of people and asked them to rank.
We shouldn't have surveyed people either.
And asked them to rank their groups top 50 from 1 to 50, and then we took all of the lists, averaged each one. So what group? So say Above the Law, which wasn't on there, but Above the Law.
Shout out to Code 187.
Got like a 5th place vote, a 10th place vote, a 30th place vote, and a 49th place vote. We averaged those all together, and that was their ranking. And I put the list together, and I included what I ranked them at and what the highest rank was. So if 30 people ranked Digital Underground, whoever had that, so if someone ranked them 10th, I'm like, well, that was the highest rank. And it gave some interesting results.
I gave you mad props for putting this together, because when you told us how you were doing it, I was like, it sounded so dope, and I knew it was gonna be dope, but this shit sounded like it was a real tough task to put together. But I'll read to you guys the list of what we came up with. 24 was Cypress Hill. 23 Sugar Hill Gang, who got ranked as high as 9.
See, and that's what pushes people up. What did I rank them at?
You rank. Let me go back. I'll read to you what they were ranked and what he ranked them at. All right, so Cypress Hill was 24th. Their highest rank was 10. You ranked them at 51.
Let the record show.
Sugar Hill Gang was ranked 23rd. Their highest rank was 9. You ranked them at 13.
Okay.
8 Ball and MJG came in at 22. Highest rank 8. Eclectik did not rank them at all. They ranked 51st. Black Star, that would be Talib Kweli and Mighty Mos Def.
Billboard's number 48 or something.
Yeah, they're at 21 on this list, and you ranked them. Excuse me, their highest rank was 11. You had them at 49.
Let the record. Hey, listen, everybody. This was 11 years ago.
Okay, number 20, Goody Mob. They came in at 20. The highest rank was at 6. I'm not sure who put them at 6, but somebody had them at 6. It wasn't me. And you didn't have them ranked. Oh damn! 19 didn't make the list.
Who?
19 is Houdini.
Not on the list.
Wow. But City Girls made the list.
Not the.
And wow. And Gangstar made the list. And oh wow. Okay. All right. So Houdini was 19, highest rank 8, and you had him at 10. Wow, that's a huge omission. They're definitely top 50. Come on, man. They got classic songs.
Also, by the way, because I'm looking at the bottom half of the list, and according to Billboard, groups and duos made the list, right? Method Man and Redman.
Wow.
Because they have 2 albums.
Yeah.
They have same many albums as Black Star.
But they're not as good as 2 Live Crew.
And not on the list at all.
Number 18 was Naughty by Nature. Their highest rank was 6. You had them ranked at 45.
Let the record show. I back up all the stuff that I say.
And it's a shame because they really shouldn't be as high as they are. Bone Thugs and Harmony is at 17. Highest rank 8. You didn't rank them at all. I don't think we're surprised by that. UGK, the Underground Kings. Now we heard E talk glowingly about Underground Kings. They came in at 16 on this list. Their highest rank was 8. Eclectik did not rank them at all.
I did not.
How dare you?
Not on my list. So I said on with that criteria and other stuff, they're somewhere. But on my list, maybe not.
At 15, we got Brand Nubian. Their highest rank was 11. You had them ranked at 20. Okay. At 14, the Trigger Happy motherfucking Ghetto Boys were at 14. They're high, and Eclectik actually has a picture of the real Ghetto Boys.
The real.
Rest in peace, Bushwick Bill. They were ranked. Their highest rank was 9. You had them ranked at 23. Okay, so that's fair. The Fugees coming in at 13 on this list, and their highest rank was 8. You had them at 30. Okay, pretty good.
Now, this is very important for this list because of the rankings. MC and DJ duos were not allowed.
I remember that. Yep.
You had to have at least 2 MCs. So Gangstar, Eric B. and Rakim, Fresh Prince, none of them were on the list.
Yep, sure was. At 12 was Mobb Deep. And I think Mobb Deep was what, 11? No, Mobb Deep was 12, 13 on the Billboard list. Highest rank was 6. You ranked them at 11. Okay, so you had them pretty much placed in about the same spot. 11, Salt and Pepper. Oh, excuse me. The highest rank was number 2.
That was definitely Kyle.
No, it wasn't. Whoever ranked.
I might have gave Spinderella the list.
If you get and you had Spinderella on your podcast, so if you gave Spinderella, she ranked them at 2. Because if not, the only other person would rank them that high is somebody who was sleeping with one of the 3. Because nobody else would rank them that high. You had them ranked at 9. So you had them in the top 10. 10, Beastie Boys. The highest rank was 4. You had them ranked at 8. De La Soul came in at 9. Highest rank was 4. You ranked them at 4. Okay. Where was EPMD on Billboard's list?
24?
26, I think, something like that.
20 something.
EPMD came in at 8 on this list. Highest rank 2. You had them ranked 2nd.
Exactly.
OutKast, who finished number 1 on Billboard's list. They came ranked on this list at number 7. Their highest rank was number 1.
By them boys.
I did not put no.
Go look at your spreadsheet.
I'm not them boys. And you had them ranked at 33. Okay.
See, I'm not a hater.
Yeah. Okay. NWA was at 6. Highest rank was 3. You had them at 7. Number 5, the legendary Roots Crew. Highest rank number 2. Wow, that's really high. You had them at 16. Okay. Number 4, PE, Public Enemy. Highest rank number 1. You had them ranked at 5. Okay. Number 3 was the Wu-Tang Clan. Highest rank number 1. You had them at 6. Number 2 was Tribe Called Quest. Highest rank number 1. You had them at 3. And number 1 was Run DMC. Highest rank was number 1. You had them ranked at number 1, and rightfully so. So
now, before you give your thoughts, I posted on the bottom half of the list, which I did first. Some interesting things happened while doing the list. Allow me to read. Wu-Tang, OutKast, De La Soul were not ranked at all by some people. Didn't make the list. The Fooshnickens ranked ahead of A Tribe Called Quest, Run DMC, Public Enemy, and the Beastie Boys by someone.
Wow. Somebody's cousin.
The Lost Boys got a rank of 3.
Wow.
EPMD received a rank of 30. 2 Live Crew received a rank of 7th.
Uncle Luke must have voted on that one.
The Insane Clown Posse and TRU were ranked, period.
Come on, man. Come on.
So all of those things affected the actual rankings, because that 30 had to get, averaged in. Wu-Tang and OutKast getting 0 had to get factored in. So
and it affects the numbers.
Yeah, but some of these people that's on this list that didn't make the illustrious Billboard list, Nice and Smooth, Treacherous 3, Smith and Wesson, LONS, The Dog Pound, Digital Underground, The Untouchable Force Organization, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we know how you feel about them.
What did I rank? I ranked them 14.
Of course you did.
The Fat Boys. The Fat Boys, the Hot Boys are on here. I ranked them 51, but they were ranked 9 by someone.
Oh my gosh! How?
But the other interesting thing to do is read the comments. The 11 years old comments is crazy talk.
Yeah, this is cool, man. I'm gonna go back and read the comments.
I wish Billboard didn't do their list. I would make a show based off of this list.
Oh wow! Did you see this comment about this?
I know the Fat Boys. That's a face for dope, and no, but if you don't like the Hot Boys, you.
Oh my gosh!
You can say anything back then.
Yeah. You could get this shit off for real.
Ultramagnetic MCs.
What I'll do is I'm gonna include the list. I'm gonna include the this list that we just talked about, so that you guys can look at it and look at the comments and everything like that. Yeah, man, this has been fun, man. And that's crazy. I gotta go back. And okay, I see the people that participated in this. Oh, my name, I participated in this. In the
I don't like you now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, look at Liz. Liz was on here. Liz, you know what? Liz probably put salt and pepper at 2. Shout out to Liz. Yeah, but it's I think, you know, Billboard tried. I mean,
they did something.
Did they do as well as our good friends at what's the place called? Hip hop.
Are you acting? You acting like your burner account doesn't exist?
But I don't have no burner account. I don't know these people. Yeah, man. So I definitely enjoyed this one as always, man. Before we get out of here, man, tell folks where they can find you, where they can check out the podcast, and where they can get some more good stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, come check me out on the Eclectic Discussion Podcast. That is ECLECTIK. And Encyclopedia Hip Hop Podcast. You know how to spell encyclopedia. If you want to listen these days, Lord, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Threads, if you're on Spill, if you're on Blue Sky, if you're on, let's add eclectic on everyone.
Yep.
And but Instabibble and Twitter at Tweet Rhymes Life, at Encyclopedia HH. The HH is for hip hop, and at Eclectic Podcast. Come listen to the shows. They're all evergreen. You haven't missed anything. You probably want to start at the beginning, because they get better. They're all funny. I make hip hop funny. I make growing up in the 80s funny. There's shows about everything that happened in the 80s and the 90s over on the Eclectic Discussion Podcast. We have drafts that Kyle consistently loses. We have lists. We have list reactions. There's album reviews, but my album reviews are not like Mr. Kyle's. What I do is I take the songs of the album and I rank them. That's it. And so there's a lot of things. Come listen to it. If you enjoy the voice and enjoy some nice music, and you don't have to listen to them boys, you can listen to them.
Whatever. Hey, you guys know what it is. You've been here long enough. Be sure to check out the podcast. The 12 Kyle podcast drops every Thursday at midnight. Subscribe, tell a friend. We drop bonus episodes sometimes on Sundays as well. If you'd like to contribute to the 12 Kyle podcast, hit us up on Cash App, $TWELVEKYLE. That's going to do it for us. So for my man Eclectic, I'm your boy 12 Kyle. This has been another episode of the 12 Kyle podcast. This time we did top 50 groups of all time, according to that's my man Eclectic. I'm your boy 12 Kyle. We'll catch you guys next time. 5,000.
With